money and will have nothing to buy. It is practically possible. Because we have seen around the world very strange weather phenomena, natural disasters, flooding, and especially in major agricultural producers of basic commodities. We have the River Gambia. We have the rainfall. But the objective this time is not to depend on rainfall and the freshwater part of the River Gambia solely for agriculture. But we have groundwater that we can use for irrigation purposes in all regions of this country. So that with irrigation systems, we are certain that we can at least have 2 harvests a year. Taking the last episode of bad rainfall pattern as an example, you will realize that the bulk of the food aid went to that part of the River Gambia where people could grow crops 3 times a year. And that is mainly the CRR. And I was a little bit skeptical why the bulk of the food aid was going to CRR when they have the freshwater part of the River Gambia where they could use tidal irrigation. So, unless we make use of the river also, and unless we change our attitude, having rainfall and fresh water alone, without people going to farm, we will not be able to, we will not get to where we want. So I think all of us here, all of you went on the tour because you are in leadership position. And it will be very important and encouraging and a source of inspiration if all of us would try and have at least a hectare where during the long weekend you can go and grow something, either beans or whatever. So that at least people will see that, oh, all those who went on tour, the deputy AG has a farm, what am I waiting for? Oh, the permanent secretary has a farm, what am I waiting for? Oh, the DPS in the office of the president has a farm, what would I be waiting for? We must show leadership by example. Let us not only tell the people to go back to the farms, let us all go to the farms and lead by example. Last year, the cabinet said they had a farm. Well, I saw a farm on TV with only 1 minister. And I was told that was the cabinet's farm. I didn't see any other ministers working on the farm, but the guy made a long speech, and all what I've seen there were workers, neighboring villages coming to lend a hand. That's not bad, but if it is a farm for the cabinet, I was wondering why only 1 minister was there. This time around, if you are going to have a farm, because it was during my holidays, I'll give you another farm in Kanilai where I will supervise it personally.
President Dami, they are emphasizing the importance of farming. The general public is hereby informed that there will be a musical jamboree at the July 22nd Square on Saturday, 6 July 2013 from 5 p.m. onwards. Guest artists are either Sam and Pap Chopet from Senegal. Other Gambian artists such as Jaliwa Kuyate and Sejoban will also be there. All are urged to attend. The Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Aja Dr. Aissatou Jai Sedi, Wednesday presided over the second quarterly meeting of sectors under her office. Mama J reports the sectoral forum reviewed progress and achievements registered by the various institutions, in addition to discussing means of addressing challenges.
Among other things, to monitor the progress and challenges reported by the various sector heads under the Office of the Vice President. It is also meant to keep the Vice President abreast with developments registered in the various sectors. The National Nutrition Agency, the host for the second quarter meeting from April to June 2013, highlighted 4 key areas of concentration for the period under review. Malang Fofana is the program manager and the acting deputy executive director, NANA.
In my presentation, I have looked at 4 key areas One is the institutional strengthening and capacity building. 2 is the review of the protocol on the management of severe acute malnutrition. 3 is resource mobilization, and 4 was on food safety and quality.
Apart from NANA's core function as the country's nutritionist, the agency has also been delegated to coordinate the food safety and quality control in the country. But according to officials, NANA has now relinquished that role following the establishment of a new department that will now be responsible for all the food safety activities in the country. Food safety has now taken a center stage in the country, with Dr. Keba Dafe as the Director General of the Food Safety and Quality Authority of the Gambia.
This is the first time we have an institution that is focused primarily on food safety. And we have a legislation that is well formulated and guiding the implementation mechanism, and there are checks and balances in it. So we're going to make sure that food safety is done in line with scientific principles. The risk analysis will be applied and precautionary measures will be taken appropriately.
The National Population Commission Secretariat, according to its field officer Bakari Juara, is working closely with partners to enable them to implement the 7 UN country programs, including gender, reproductive health, development, and population affairs.
Over the years, our work plans have been emanated from these 3 components. And this period under review, we have planned activities. Then we find it worthwhile to come and share our experience and lesson learned in relation to those activities with partners.
The Monitoring and Evaluation Officer at the Women's Bureau, Siaka Marong, noted it is important to table before their unit heads some of the issues hindering their work.
We have our regional offices at the regional level. Already, right now, we have 7 offices. And then if you look at these offices, we have what we call the computers and accessories. And then the other point also is since UNDP provided those computers and accessories since 2008, and then if you look at their lives right now, they are no more functioning. Then we also request from the Ministry of Finance to help us to provide office equipment for the program officers so that they can function, they can do their work effectively. And then in terms of mobility, Women's Bureau, we are definitely constrained. And then this has been reported during the presentation of the report.
The Deputy Permanent Secretary, Office of the Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Abdulaiba, dilated on some of their activities.
The Office of the Vice President, as you know, are responsible for policy, formulation, coordination, monitoring, evaluation, and implementing at the highest level of 4 sectors under its purview.
The Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Dr. Aya Aisatunjai Sedi, underscored the importance of the forum, an initiative she held following cabinet directives to hold quarterly sectoral meeting in Kanilai.
If you don't have this kind of a planning approach, we can all plan in our different departments. Women's Bureau can plan on its own, population plans on its own, nutrition plan, or the authority plan, but it won't be effective, or even the Minister of Women's Affairs. We must come together because after all, we only have one vision for the ministry, that is a trust, a goal to reach. And out of that goal, each of us have an objective that is each of the sectors here. So those objectives must be linked to the goal. And our goal as a ministry must be linked to the government vision and the program for accelerated growth and employment, which is the PID, which is the medium-term plan for government. So in order for that to happen, we must meet and discuss and see our similarities, our differences, and how we can have linkages between the different departments under the Ministry of Women's Affairs and Office of the Vice President.
The forum, described as a family meeting, also serve as a platform to interact and share experiences with their top brass. Excellency, a lot of achievements have been registered by the various sectors under your purview, but quite some challenges have also been spotted out by some of these sectors. What is the way forward for some of these challenges in addressing them?
Yeah, Mama J, in life, there are always challenges. That's the very essence of life. But what is good is that there is no challenge on earth that cannot be overcome. And that is why we are meeting, as I said, here today.